Yeah.
Now I'm just going to, since you still have the microphone on, I'm just going to ask you a couple of quick questions too.
ये सस्रे अकाल जी।
All right. The first question I have to ask you, and I ask this of every person I interview, is to say and spell your name, so I have it recorded properly.
It's Aashish, which is pronounced Ashish, and last name is of course Khan, like Khan, Ashish Khan. Ashish means it has come from the word called Ashirvad, which means blessings. You know.
I read once somewhere that everyone with the family name of Khan can trace their ancestry back to the same family.
Well, I'm not quite sure about it, but our family comes from the Bengal, which is now has become Bangladesh. It used to be known as the East Bengal, and basically our forefathers were farmers, and except my grandfather's father, he used to play sitar a little bit, you know. And my grandfather has a long story. He ran away at the age of 8 from his home. The reason was he used to go to school. There was a very small school in the village, a typical village. Now it has become a city. So instead of going to school, he used to stop in a temple of a Shiva, you know, Lord Shiva's temple. So one day his teacher complained to his father that your son doesn't come to school. So his father said, "No, he goes every morning to the school." Okay, no. Then one day his father followed him, then found him instead of going to school, he used to go to that temple and used to listen to all these saintly people doing their bhajans, kirtans, whatever. And then he used to come home. So when he came home, he got a beating. So, and he used to sleep with his mother. He was only 8 years old. So in the night, what he did, his mother used to put all the keys in the sari, we call it the pallu, you know. So very gently he opened it, took the keys out, and they didn't have a suitcase those days. They had like a big pitara, you know.
Trunk.
So he opened that, and whatever he could grab, and those days there was no paper money, it was all silver. He grabbed that, made a little bundle, and then he left the home. Then he took a boat, came to Calcutta. Then he was so tired and hungry, so he put his bundle under his head and drank some water from the Ganges. The water was not polluted those days. Anyway, then he went to sleep. When he woke up, the bundle was gone, all his money was gone. He started crying. But anyway, this is his starting of his life to learn music. And finally he found his guru, Muhammad Wazir Khan Sahab of Rampur. He was a court musician of the Nawab. That's where he went to learn. And that his guru never taught him for 5 years. Then after, he used to do household thing, you know, helping guru and all that. So after 5 years, the guru said, "I was testing your patience. Now I will teach you." And then he poured him music. 5 years.
That's your grandfather?
That's my father.
So it goes in your family quite a ways,
Right,
this
yeah,
music.
yeah.
Tell me about the instrument you play. I think many people who will be watching our news tonight have never seen such an instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about it.
Well, it has a long history, but the present shape was given by my 2 grandfathers, because his younger brother, Ustad Ali Akbar Khan, he was a natural born, he could make instruments and things like that. Since my grandfather learned about 200 instruments, and And the old Sarod did not give lot of things which he wanted from the instrument, the sound, and so he was discussing. Then he added this 4 strings and 15 sympathetic strings and bigger drum, longer shape, and of course my father gave the sound of the Sarod, which was never before, that kind of the tonal quality of the instrument, and technique of course is there. So this is how the Sarod was developed, and some people claim that it has come from Kabuli Rabab, which looks very much like this, but not exactly. But if you see the instrument, then you will know. So we don't agree on that, because in a book written by Swami Pragyanand, was a great author and scholar of Ramakrishna Mission. In his book, he has mentioned but not Sarod, but he said the Sharadiya, the name of course got changed. It was everything else related with the Veena, the Sharadiya Veena, then it became Sarod. And then in his book he mentions that in the 6th century, in his sculptures and in paintings, he found Sarod-like instrument, So we go with that history, Of course, then my grandfather introduced a lot of techniques from different instruments, like from the Senia Rabab. The Senia word comes from Mia Tansen, whose guru was Swami Haridas, who taught Mia Tansen. And there's a very interesting story about Mia Tansen. He was one of the most notorious boy in the village. He always used to hide behind the bushes, and when there's the people passing through, he used to make a sound of a lion or tiger to scare them. So one day, Swami Haridas was passing through his disciples, and he did the same thing. So his disciples said, "Please don't get scared, this is a little boy who does that to everybody." So he got very interested. He said, "Why don't you bring the boy to me? If he can imitate the sound of a lion and tiger, he must be genius." So they brought the boy in front of him. And then he said, "I'm going to take this boy and teach him music." So his parents were relieved that at least he will be away.
The actual instrument itself, 24 strings?
Excuse me. This cough I got from all this traveling. 25 strings. Yeah.
25 strings.
4 carries the melody. These 4 are tuned to the main notes, prominent notes of the rag or the melody. This remains as a tonic, which are tuned to, these 2 are tuned to the higher octave of the tonic. So these 3 as like a sympathetic kind of, and also drone. And there are 15 strings, we call them taraf.
Do you mind just bearing with me for a moment? I'm going to go get another battery for my camera. It's giving me a warning. You see the light flicker there.
All right.
So.
All right.